wrestling was an idea I had for a very long time. Me and Scott had worked on it for years, but we wanted to approach it from a very different way. I kind of was done with the kind of filmmaking style that I felt made climax with the film. Sort of had been an evolution to that film. And I didn't really want to take that filmmaking style anywhere else, so I was looking for something radically different to, try and reinvent and take a gamble in another way. Because when we were doing the wrestler, everyone was like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" Who the hell?
Yeah, we found some suckers.
Yeah. And they were, I don't know. They got it though. They understood. Most people were like, "Why would anyone want to make a film to make you wrong? Why would anyone want to look at his face for an hour?" And it's funny that one company believed in it only with Mickey. When we tried to replace it with a movie star, they said, "No, we don't want to do it." So they got it. Thank you. Now tell me.
You collaborated a lot with Clint Mansell and the Chronos Quartet, and how did that relationship develop?
Clint, we just met. We were lucky. It was through a friend of a friend. He was in New York after his rock band, Pop Lead itself, split up, and he was depressed and kind of lost and directionless. But he loved the idea of trying to be a composer. And I met him, and he was really into electronic music, which worked really well, I thought, with Pi at the time, because there was a lot of electronic music happening at that time when you guys were 10 years old. I'm sorry, I think and so we met and we hit it off. And when Requiem was happening, I had been like to music festivals, and I've seen the Chronos Quartet, and they were really weird, but they were very well respected, and I wouldn't necessarily stay and listen to their set, but they were there and they were interesting, So when Requiem music started to get together, there was all these strings, and I was just thinking of a way of making it. You're always trying to bring in elements that somehow people can write about and talk about, so that it's a thing. And so I thought about approaching them, and then they were very game, and they were very willing to work in with the limited resources we had. It worked out.
What was your experience at AFI, and what did you work on there?
Well, AFI, American Film Institute, could either be a 1-year or 2-year program, I guess, at the time. I think it's a 2-year program, and it was okay. I mean, are you all undergrads? There's no grads here, are there? So, is there a graduate school?
Just for certain programs, but not for...
Not for some. So one of my teachers, when I was an undergrad, said that it would be good if I went to AFI to sort of get more experience. And it was a good experience. And I think, and this is what I always tell film students, the most important thing you get out of film school is not what the teachers teach you, but is each other. Because you could potentially create a great collaboration with people that are around you, and it really worked out really like that for me. When a big chunk of the money for Pi came from a guy who had invested in one of my fellow classmates at AFI, and then there's just been a group of filmmakers there that we've all kind of stuck together. I met my DP, who shot Black Swan and shot Found. He didn't shoot the rest of it, but he shot everything else. Matty Boutique at film school. One of my first producing partners I met there. So it's all about connections. I think it's a big part of getting enough people together to make a film.
I was just curious,
about, I was just curious about two things. First, what resources do you think independent filmmakers don't exploit enough? And also, you're supposedly developing a remake of RoboCop, is that right?
It's interesting. I mean, you guys are in a very interesting crossroad for film because independent film is independent film the way it's been perceived for the last 20 years. That chapter is ending if it hasn't ended already. I mean, there'll be a few films that get out and continue to get into cinemas, and there'll be a few films that will get made and end up in films. But doesn't it feel like you guys? I mean, how many of you guys go out and see independent film at the theater? What's the last independent film you saw? Yeah. All right. What did you see last?
Well, I actually saw a French movie, Profit, a few weeks ago.
Right. Good. And who else saw it, Ron?
I saw Antichrist.
What?
You
saw Antichrist? Yeah. Where did you guys see it? In the city or up here?
IFC.
IFC in the city. But there you go. Lars von Trier with all that hype.
Sorry. I need to interrupt you guys, but we didn't expect this much turnout. And Darren is way too interesting, not to miss a word.
So, Lars von Trier got all that hype, for that movie, and maybe 20 of you have seen it, and he got, I don't know, maybe it played for 3 weekends or 4 weekends in New York, I don't even know, but it's not Dancer in the Dark business, and what was the other film? One of you guys saw A Prophet, which I think is a great film. You should all go see it. It's a really good film. Or Netflix. What else? How many people saw Greenberg? What else is out there? Some trouble. Yeah. Who saw The Runaways? Who saw Avatar? That's it? You all didn't go see Avatar? Okay, maybe my point is ruined. That was like some dramatic, everyone putting their hand up. But I think that it's not, it used to be, in the 90s and the last 10 years, it was like a big thing when a new independent film would come out. Everyone would go see the new Wes Anderson film, the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, the new, and it seems, at least from my point of view, and I don't know if it's just because my connection to it has changed, but it seems like it's harder and harder to get me to go to see one of those films. Do you guys feel that way at all? Not really. Okay. It's just not as
long enough.
What?
They don't play long enough.
They don't play long enough.
It's fortunate, and it's a 1 week thing, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking 2 weeks.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also that there's no distributors anymore. There's the IFC, and there's Fox Searchlight, and that's about it that are releasing indie films. Who saw Kick-Ass? Who liked Kick-Ass? Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. So I think it's I don't know how you guys, I think you guys have to figure out how to change the formula somehow. And I was talking to a young filmmaker that works with me, who's over there, John, who, how would if I was starting out with $50,000 like we had Pi, what would we do to get attention? And I think definitely we wouldn't shoot in film. That's of course, you would be shooting film. And would we be dreaming about going to Sundance and getting a distribution deal, it seems like that's less and less of a path. Yet no one has figured out how to break, the internet distribution model so that, and sort of launch your career that way.
There's the Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity was the one big indie film of the year. So, I mean, no, clearly there'll be independent films that will break out, but it will be, I think there's gotta be a new way of getting your stories out there. So, and I don't know if that means you guys are gonna be making feature films, or if it's gonna be some other type of way to express your stories.